it's Marine. Welcome back to my little English page. Today is our weekly listening practice. Good morning, everyone. This is Marine, your English teacher. So today, guys, we are back on the listening fables. We have another wonderful teacher with a very different accent today. So I think this one's going to be quite interesting for you guys. But before we start, let's just see who's in the comment section. Sheriff is here and Lolly's here as well. Gino from Real English Everyday, our guest today, is here as well. We have Red Brandy Cherries. English Vibes, how are you? Alright guys, so just before we start, you know the drill. You could become a patron by just getting me a little cup of digital coffee at www.coffee.com. There is a link in the description below. Feel free to just click on it, have a look at it. These digital coffees, guys, are contributions that go towards helping me improving the content. For example, paying for this software that I am using right now. And this gets you a big shout out on Saturday morning and another one on Instagram. So today, guys, we're going to do the lesson a little bit differently because so Gino has a very different accent that I think you're not familiar with at all, and I think you might struggle a little bit more with it. So today we're actually going to have a look at vocabulary first, and then we'll do the listening practice. I know we usually do it the other way around, but I wanted to make it a little bit easier for you guys. But before we start, let me tell you a little bit more about our teacher today. So it's Gino from Real Everyday English. He's in the comment section, guys. Feel free to say hi and let's have a look at what he has to say. You know, he has a wonderful listening tip for you guys, so let's do this.
Hey, Gino here. I run a YouTube channel called Real Everyday English, which is focused on helping people like you improve your English for free with weekly uploads. I stumbled across my passion for helping people to improve their English when I started to learn Spanish, and obviously I was teaching my language partners English and they were teaching me Spanish in return, and it just made me realise that I have a passion for helping people with their English, and it was something I wanted to pursue and help as many people as I possibly can. I have a listening tip for you guys, and that is something that I use myself when I'm speaking to my language partners in Spanish. If there is something you don't understand, never ask the person what it is in your own language. Never use translation in that situation. Ask the person to explain in the language you are learning. So in your instance, if you're talking to me right now and I say something you don't understand, stop me and say, I'm sorry, but can you explain that word? What does it mean? And ask the person to explain it in the language you're learning. It certainly helped me, and I think it can help you too. I hope you go along and check out my channel, and you can expect a new video every Sunday. See you guys soon. Bye-bye.
Alright guys, so this was Gino, our wonderful teacher this week, and I couldn't agree more with his tip. Don't translate. It's not going to help you guys, because when you actually get to speak, your brain is going to want to translate first. So really make sure that you ask for definitions, synonyms. As a teacher, I also act in class a lot. I demonstrate what something means. These are things that you should be focusing on rather than translating. So, what did you think of Gino's accent? Did you find it a little bit more challenging? The way he forms some sounds is quite different. Gino, correct me if I'm wrong, but you said you're from the north, close to Manchester, right? And yeah, those are different accents. So, without further ado, let's have a look at the vocabulary that we're going to listen to today, or have a look at today. Here we go. So, here's a bunch of words that you're going to hear that I think are a bit more challenging. I have put in red the ones that we have already seen before and that you should know. You should be familiar with those words, okay? So if you know some of the definitions here, guys, feel free to write them, no, it's here, in the chat, okay? And we'll have a look at those together. Sergi's here as well. Hi, Sergi, how are you? Okay, all right, so we have muleteer, laden, plain, load, steep, bear, entreat, relieve of, and burden. So first, let's have a look at the red words because you should be familiar with those ones. So the first one is steep. So steep, that's what it means, rising or falling sharply. Basically, if you go up a hill, okay, it's not very steep. But if you go up a mountain, it's super steep, okay? The angle is very big. Not sure if you can say that. But you see, the hill is just a little bit elevated. The mountain is very elevated. So that is steep, okay? Good. Next word is, let's have a look at entreat. And yes, guys, Gino is from Manchester. That's the one. That's the city. Okay, good. Okie dokie. So entreat, this one, we should be familiar with it because we've seen it several times. Okay, it is to ask someone to do something. And there's a little bit of, I think, begging involved. So that's what it is. Now, muleteer, it has the word mule in it. Mule. So a mule is an animal. I think, if I'm correct, it's a mix between a donkey and a horse. I think that's what a mule is, okay? So the muleteer is the person who drives the mules, who's in charge of them, okay? It's kind of like the shepherd for mules rather than sheep. Then laden means heavily loaded or weighted down. So the person is probably carrying something very heavy, okay? He's laden with something. Good. All right, now next one. So plain, you're probably expecting a specific definition. We're looking at a very different meaning for plain here. Now, where is it? Okay, so plain can mean kind of boring, dull, where there's nothing special about it. In this case, we are referring to grassland or a pasture, a big area of grass. Good. Then load. A load, a heavy thing that is being carried, okay? So let's say I'm carrying something heavy. What I am carrying is my load, okay? But you know what? I feel like this one should be in red. I'm going to put it in red because I feel we've seen this word before several times. So I'm going to put it in red. And bear is a synonym of carry, basically, okay? Not always, it can have different meaning, but in this context, in the context that we are going to hear it, it is similar to carry. Next one, we have relieve of. I think we've seen this one too before, but I'm going to leave it in black, okay? It means to take the burden from someone. So if I'm carrying something very heavy, it's difficult, it's challenging, and somebody takes the load from me, okay? They relieve me of it. So they're removing all of that pressure, all of that weight of me. And then here, the last one that we have in this slide, we have a second part for vocabulary, guys. We have, so burden, a load, typically a heavy one, okay? Something negative, a burden usually, something that weighs you down. Good. So let's move on to the second slide of vocabulary, second vocabulary slide. So we still have a few words in red, words that you should be familiar with. So the first one here, hide, we are not talking about a verb. We are talking about the skin of an animal, okay? The the skin of an animal. Then skin in this context is not a noun, we're referring to a verb. To skin an animal means to remove their skin, usually to turn the skin into fur, okay? To remove the skin of usually an animal. You shouldn't skin humans. Not a good idea, guys. Okay. And then, groan. It is to make a deep sound of pain. For example, okay, to groan. When you're in pain, it's the kind of sound that you make. Beneath, under. Again, that's a word we should be familiar with. Desserts. Okay, this one is different. We are not talking about pudding. We are talking about something very different here. Desserts here is similar to deserve, okay? So the desserts or dessert is what a person deserves, okay? Whether it's good or bad, it is what they deserve. And then the last one, willing, again, a word we should be more than familiar with, okay? It's prepared, ready to do something, you want to do something, that's what willing means. If you're willing to do something, you want to do something, you're ready to do it, you're prepared to do it. Good. Okay, so I haven't really looked at the comment section. Let me have a little look right now. Let's see. Yes, I'm from Manchester. You guys are funny. Hello Ali, how are you? Okay guys. And we have Alfred. Oh, hi Alfred, hi, how are you? Okay, so now we are going to do the listening practice. So this one is called, the fable that we're listening to today is called The Mule and the Ass. Now, the word ass, guys, I hope I don't lose my monetization for saying this word. This actually refers to a donkey. A donkey, okay? It's not a bad word for buttocks. No, not in this context, okay? It is a word that we use to describe an animal. All right, so are you ready, guys? Make sure to grab a pen and a paper. If you're not comfortable just writing in the chat. We have a total of 10 gaps today. And we have a mix. The gaps could have 1, 2, or 3 words. I don't think we have 4 words. But again, remember, this is going to be a little bit more challenging than usual. This is a very different accent that you're not familiar with. But again, guys, in real life, you don't just speak to people with received pronunciation, you know? You can't just request, please, I would only like people around me that speak, received pronunciation. I would appreciate that, thank you. That's not how it works, unfortunately. So it's quite good to be, if not comfortable with every accent, at least familiar and aware that they exist and the little differences, okay? So, let's do this. We'll play it twice, guys, okay? Don't worry. You have time.
A muleteer set forth on a journey, driving before him an ass and a mule, both well laden. The ass, as long as he travelled along the plain, carried his load with ease, but when he began to ascend the steep path of the mountain, he felt his load to be more than he could bear. He entreated his companion to relieve him of a small portion, that he might carry home the rest, but the mule paid no attention to the request. The ass, shortly afterwards, fell down dead under his burden. Not knowing what else to do in so wild a region, the muleteer placed upon the mule the load carried by the ass in addition to his own, and at the top of all placed on the hide of the ass. After he had skinned him, the mule, groaning beneath his heavy burden, said to himself, I am treated according to my deserts. If I had only been willing to assist the ass a little in his need, I should not now be bearing, together with his burden, himself as well.
Okay, all right, so Sheriff is already writing some of the answers. Great job. Now, I would like you to tell me what you think the main difference with, about Gino's accent. What do you think is different from what you're used to? I feel that the main difference here is probably vowel sounds. They're a little bit more closed. Okay, so at one point, I don't know if you heard it, Gino said bear. Well, I said bear, and I think he said something like burr. So the mouth is a little bit more closed when he speaks, okay? I thought that was quite an interesting thing to point out. All right, Sheriff, you're on fire. You're writing a lot of the answers. Good job. And hi, Buran. Nice to see you here. Okay, good job. Well done. All right, so let's listen to it one more time. Let's do that.
A muleteer set forth on a journey, driving before him an ass and a mule, both well laden. The ass, as long as he travelled along the plain, carried his load with ease, but when he began to ascend the steep path of the mountain, he felt his load to be more than he could bear. He entreated his companion to relieve him of a small portion, that he might carry home the rest, but the mule paid no attention to the request. The ass, shortly afterwards, fell down dead under his burden. Not knowing what else to do in so wild a region, the muleteer placed upon the mule the load carried by the ass in addition to his own, and at the top of all placed on the hide of the ass. After he had skinned him, the mule, groaning beneath his heavy burden, said to himself, I am treated according to my deserts. If I had only been willing to assist the ass a little in his need, I should not now be bearing, together with his burden, himself as well.
All right, okay. So I'll give you a little bit more time, guys, just to think about it, just a second, okay, to make sure you all get a chance to write down your answers. Now, if you feel that you need to listen to it one more time, just pause the video, pause the video and go back, and that way you can listen to it one more time, okay? Hi, maybe we, good job as well. You have another one there. Okay, I love Gino's accent. I love all northern accents. It's not quite the same, but my father-in-law is Scottish as well, and I always try to imitate his accent, but they're quite challenging, I think. I think northern accents are more difficult to create. But yeah, cool accent. Love it. Alright guys, so ready for the answers? Let's listen to that right now.
A muleteer set forth on a journey, driving before him an ass and a mule, both well laden. The ass, as long as he travelled along the plain, carried his load with ease, but when he began to ascend the steep path of the mountain, he felt his load to be more than he could bear. He entreated his companion to relieve him of a small portion, that he might carry home the rest, but the mule paid no attention to the request. The ass, shortly afterwards, fell down dead under his burden. Not knowing what else to do in so wild a region, the muleteer placed upon the mule the load carried by the ass in addition to his own, and at the top of all placed on the hide of the ass. After he had skinned him, the mule, groaning beneath his heavy burden, said to himself, I am treated according to my deserts. If I had only been willing to assist the ass a little in his need, I should not now be bearing, together with his burden, himself as well.
Okay. I've noticed, I think I said one of the vocab words incorrectly earlier. I said laden, and I think it is laden. Alright guys, so I see Sergi wrote all of his answers as well in English vibes. Good job, guys. You seem to have a lot of the answers right. So please let me know in the comment or in the chit chat section how it went, how many of those you got right. So let me just remove some of the vocabulary because it's just, in my face. And I'd like to talk a little bit about what you understand of this fable. What do you think is the moral? So in case this is the first time you are doing one of those listening activities with us, guys, those fables, they're all little stories that have a lesson to teach you. And I want to know what you think the lesson is here. What do we have to learn from this fable? Okay, so Sergi, you think it was the easiest one. See, I'm so confused. I thought this was going to be one of the most challenging ones, and he ended up being one of the easiest ones for you guys. So weird. I also think that seeing the vocabulary beforehand was probably quite useful. Let me know if you think that made a big difference today, having a look at the vocabulary before the fable rather than doing the listening activity first, okay? So share if you got them all. Good job. Congratulations. All right. So, guys, the moral of the story. So what happens? There's an ass. I think it's the ass, right? The ass is carrying something. It's very heavy and the mule isn't. And the mule doesn't help the ass. The ass dies. And then the muleteer just takes the skin of the ass and puts it on top of the mule. So what can we deduct from that? What do we understand from that? What do you think? I think it's maybe something like what goes around comes around. Basically what you do, you're gonna, get it back, whether it's good or bad. That's maybe how I would interpret it, that don't be too selfish because in the end, might be worse. Okay, so come on guys, I'm curious. Let me know in the chit chat section, what do you think the moral of the story is? Let's see. Oh, okay, so maybe you agree with Sergi. You think it was one of the easiest one. I'm so confused, I don't get it. I really think it's the vocabulary before that helped a lot. So yeah, please let me know. I want to know. Let me know, okay? The golden rule. What is that, Alfred? Oh, maybe we be careful. It's not I am not agree. It's I do not agree. Okay? We use the auxiliary do to form the negative with agree here. Okay. All right, just so you know, guys, there's a slight delay between the moment you write your comment and the moment I receive it. So if I'm just awkwardly looking at the comment section, it's because I'm waiting for your comments. Okay, so I think you guys don't... Oh, okay, so okay, that's a good one. Sheriff said you taste your own medicine. You get a taste of your own medicine. Yeah, okay. We say you fall in the same hole that you once dug. Yeah, he kind of dug his own grave there. By not helping someone else, it just made the whole ordeal more complicated. And in the end, he paid for it. Okay? Yeah, learning vocabulary is helpful before. Okay, alright. Good job, guys. Alright, so I think it's time to move to the bye-bye slide. I realize I forgot to tell you to like the video. I know that you like my videos. I know you enjoy them. I know you learn a lot from my videos. But what I don't know is why you don't give the video a big thumbs up. Why? I'm so confused. If you like my videos so much, well, show me that love and thumb it up. Give the video a big thumbs up. Bum 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 ba-dum ba-dum bum 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 bum. Ha! Gosh, I'm so cringy sometimes. Alright guys, so this is the end of today's live. Thank you so much for joining us today. As you know, you could become a patron by just getting me a mini cup of digital coffee at www.coffee.com. There's a link in the description below in case you're curious and you just want to have a look at what that is. Now, of course, our next live is going to be on Thursday. Oh, I forgot to change that. On Thursday at 4 p.m. Good. At 4 p.m. GMT+2. Okay, I'm not sure what we'll do yet, but I'll make it fun like last time. That was really fun with the Guess Who game. So I want to thank again our wonderful teacher today. Please go and check out his channel. There is a link in the description as well. So Gino from Real Everyday English. I'm so glad you found this particular exercise a little bit easier, specifically because I thought it was going to be more challenging with Gino's accent, but I love that you found it easy. So please guys, go ahead, check out Gino's channel, and like he said, there's a new video on Sunday, so perfect. Subscribe today, watch the video tomorrow. It just works perfectly. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you coming back every single week. Stay strong, motivated, and of course, keep on learning. Bye! Hey guys, so you liked this video, you enjoyed it, and you want more? Don't worry, I have over 150 videos on my channel. There's one right here. And there's another one right here. And while you click on those little videos, guys, I'm going to dance for you. Okay, have you chosen?